You can sit across from a board member who just tried to gut your entire proposal and not blink. 2 hours later, your partner asks one simple question about dinner, and you nearly take their head off. If you keep treating this as two separate problems, a work skill and a home problem, you'll spend years and thousands of dollars on communication books and leadership courses while the actual issue sits underneath both of them, completely untouched. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your body does this, and the one place to look that finally closes the gap. Here's the sentence I need you to sit with. You do not have a work nervous system and a relationship nervous system. You have exactly one. And it runs the same operating system under pressure in every room you walk into. That's not motivational language, and that's neuroscience. Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory describes a process called neuroception, your body's continuous below conscious scan for safety or danger. Neuroception doesn't check the calendar before it fires. It doesn't know this is a client versus this is my spouse. It only reads tone, pace, and pressure. So when you walk into a tense negotiation and your jaw locks, your breath shortens, your shoulders climb, that's not professionalism. That's your body bracing against a threat to your status and your safety. And here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. That exact same bracing is what shows up at your kitchen table 4 hours later. Your nervous system didn't clock out. It just walked into a room with worse lighting. I want to name something directly. Professional composure is often hypervigilance with better branding. If you can hold a flawless poker face through a hostile meeting, but can't sit through 30 seconds of silence from someone you love, that composure was never regulation. It was sympathetic overdrive in a nicer suit. And an invisible stress doesn't disappear. It sends the bill home. If that bill sounds familiar, drop a W for work or an H for home. Which room costs you more right now? It tells me exactly which pattern to go deeper on next. This is where your Sentry archetypes, the 6 protective patterns your nervous system defaults to when it doesn't feel safe, shows up. Same shape, different costume. The Appeaser pattern overcommits to a client demand you knew was unreasonable, smiling while your stomach drops. At home, it's the exact same drop in the gut right before, sure, no problem, to your partner, your sibling, your closest friend, about something your whole body just voted no on. The bunker pattern goes quiet on a collaborative project, finds reasons to work alone because group exposure feels risky. At home, it's hiding behind a screen the second a family member asks for something emotionally costly. Not because the inbox is urgent, but because the screen is a door that closes without anyone watching it close. The armored pattern controls the agenda before anyone else can, sets the pace, doesn't let the meeting breathe because an unstructured room feels unsafe. At home, that same person micromanages the household, bedtime, the dishwasher, the towels, not from a need to control people, but because structure is the only language their nervous system has ever trusted to outrun a threat it can't name. If you recognize yourself in any of these, that's worth subscribing for. We spend a lot of time here mapping exactly how to move out of these protective shells and back into real connection. None of these are character flaws. They're old, accurate strategies built once for a context that needed them, now running on autopilot in rooms that don't require them anymore. And here's the audit I want you to actually run. The fight you keep having with your partner is also certainly playing out somewhere else in your life right now. With your co-founder, with your mother, with a friend who's just been busy for 3 months. One pattern, 5 outfits. So if insight doesn't fix it, and it doesn't, because this pattern lives in your autonomic nervous system, not in your thinking brain, what does? You stop managing the symptom in each individual relationship and start mapping the baseline underneath all of them. That starts with tracking your window of tolerance in real time. Noticing the early signals, the jaw, the breath, the shoulders, and asking one question before you react. Is this the room or is this the wiring? Most of the time, especially if you spend years being rewarded for performing calm under fire, it's the wiring. And wiring responds to nervous system regulation, not to better arguments. If you want to know exactly which pattern is running the show for you, the one showing up at work and at home, the free relational nervous system quiz at mind-fusion.com/quiz maps it in 5 minutes. The link is below.